Okay guys, I admit it, I judged too quickly. Before we get into this video, I just want to address some things about my last video, because it seems that I have misunderstood some things. Yes, I am aware that Stitch used to insert himself into other Disney movies. My main concern was to do with the fact that we hadn't had a proper trailer yet, this close to release date. Although I wasn't around when the original movie came out, so I'm not sure what order all those trailers came out in. So that's my bad, I should have done more research. I was just in a very angry mood when I made that video, and I still kind of am, but not specifically right at this moment. Also, I do understand why they've done this, but I can still be a little skeptical about the movie itself. I didn't have high hopes for the movie being very good, but after this new trailer just came out, my hopes are a lot higher than they previously were. Thank you for educating me in the comments. I'm constantly trying to improve the quality of my videos, so I appreciate you guys telling me where I messed up. Anyways, as I hinted at in my responses to your comments, here is a more positive video about the same topic. I'm in a headspace at the moment where I just want to complain about everything. The world is falling apart, everything is going up in flames, and I'm really struggling to find something positive to talk about. I don't want you guys to get the impression that all I do is complain, because if that's the first video of mine that you've seen, it probably didn't give you the best first impression of me. So I spent a good few days thinking of something positive to talk about, and then the Shrek 5 teaser trailer came out on the same day that Mummy Pig announced that she was pregnant live on Good Morning Britain.
We're having another baby!
I'm due in the summer and we're all so excited. That is amazing! Congratulations!
Firstly, the Shrek thing. I'm not too mad about it because, one, it's a 30-second teaser, and I've learned, especially after yesterday, that you shouldn't judge a movie based on its teaser. And two, it's been 15 years, of course the animation is going to look different. However, this just pisses me off. But like I said earlier, I think I've done enough complaining on the internet recently, so instead I'm going to talk about something good. The live-action Lilo and Stitch trailer came out and actually looks decent. Now, I still don't think this movie has any reason to exist, but after this trailer, I am willing to give it a chance. What I like most about the trailer is that it's clearly not a shot-for-shot remake of the original. The trailer shows the reimagining of some scenes we know and love, such as Lilo meeting Stitch, and the scene at the luau, but we've also got some new moments of Stitch starting out with Lilo and Nani. I know I've said that Disney should try remaking some of their animated movies that didn't work quite as well, and I do stand by that, but after seeing this trailer and checking out the general response to it, I can totally understand now how this story does work in live action. Stitch being seen as this disgusting creature makes a lot of sense when the majority of the other characters are real humans, and this trailer genuinely got some laughs out of me. I don't know what it is, something about otherworldly creatures adjusting to life on Earth is really funny to me. You know, like, I find the Minions funny, and they're not just reusing the same old jokes from the original, they're actually finding inventive new gags that may be overused in some contexts, but I think it works perfectly in this type of story. And I have to give it up for Chris Sanders, who is reprising his role as Stitch. No one would be able to play that role quite like him. And I also have to give it up for the casting of this movie. Casting a bunch of unknowns to bring their own versions of these beloved characters to life is a brilliant move on Disney's part. I think one of the biggest problems with the recent live-action remakes has been them relying too much on the big-name celebrities to attract the audience's attention. But this cast looks rather promising, and they are exactly what I would imagine the live-action versions of these characters to be like. Maya Kealuha, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that name, is the perfect choice for a live-action Lilo, and I can already tell that she is going to go far. I remember a while back there was some controversy about them casting Sydney Agudong. Again, I sincerely apologise if I'm saying that wrong, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I don't care. From this trailer, she is a really convincing Nani, who, by the way, is seriously one of the most underrated Disney characters ever. I mean, this young woman had everything figured out, and she dropped all of it to take care of her little sister when their parents died. Everything she does in the movie, she does for Lilo's benefit, and she's willing to do anything to make sure Lilo is safe and that she doesn't get taken away by Mr. Bubbles. She's incredible, and so is David, who understands how much more important Nani raising Lilo is in their love life. Courtney B. Vance as Mr. Bubbles, Hannah Waddingham as the Ground Councilwoman, it all gets a thumbs up from me. Another thing that I have to praise the trailer for is the special effects. I will admit, I still can't quite bring myself to call Stitch cute, but after thinking about it, I'd much rather have him look like this compared to, say, this, because this seriously would traumatise some kids. Same goes for Pleakley. The other aliens do look rather out of place in this world, but that's the point. It is still quite uncanny to look at, but that's probably because we don't see the other alien characters in this trailer after the first part as much. I'm really curious to know what Jumba looks like, because we know that he's being played by Zach Galifianakis, another genius casting choice. My one concern is that it looks like Jumba and Pleakley's disguises would be hologram bodysuits, and I'm not too sure if I'm on board with that, because some of the funniest parts of the original involves their terrible human disguises, but we'll have to wait and see. The surfing part in the original is probably my favourite scene, as it's one of the first moments where Stitch really feels like he's becoming part of the family, and it would have been really easy for Disney to just recreate this scene completely with CGI, but I don't see any CGI here, and that's great. I also still really hope that this Disney sandcastle is also a thing that is actually in the movie. Hold on, 2 hours and 39 minutes? Are you sure? Okay, one more thing that I'm going to mention is that I hope that with a runtime like that, this movie makes the most of the opportunity to expand upon the characters' backstories. We might find out more about Lilo and Nani's life before Stitch, how their family dynamic was, how much Nani had to give up to make sure Lilo has the best life possible. And of course, characters like David and Mr. Bubbles aren't in need of any emotional backstory, but we could see how Disney uses this opportunity to expand upon their already established character traits. I'm usually quite skeptical over most movie trailers, and this was definitely no exception, but after watching it a few times, I now feel this warm feeling whenever I see the trailer. I actually want to see more. If you'd have told me 4 weeks ago that I would actually be looking forward to the live-action Lilo and Stitch when the trailer came out, I would have thought you were out of your mind. If I had to boil it down to one thing, I think it must be my love of Stitch and his movie, which I've watched countless times over the years, so I'm just excited to see more of it. Kind of in the same way I felt about the live-action Lion King at first when the trailer first came out, but I'm older now and I've seen a lot more films, so I know that if a trailer does make me feel this way, that's probably a sign that I'm looking forward to the movie. And I can already tell that regardless of how good the film actually ends up being, I have no doubt that it will most likely be better than the live-action Lion King. Again, I still don't think there's any reason for this movie to exist, but you know what? I could say that for a lot of movies. We didn't need an Inside Out 2, we didn't need a movie version of Wicked, and we certainly didn't need any of these sequels or live-action remakes. But that doesn't mean they can't use these projects as an opportunity to expand upon the world of the original and help the audience see things in a different light. Sort of like what Tangled the series did. To make it up to you guys who rightfully criticised my last video, I will watch the movie when it comes out, in the hopes that I can make one more video on this topic to say for certain that I was wrong. I was wrong, and I'm sorry I ever doubted you, live action Stitch.